Here at the Cuff Road project, luck and opportunity are in short supply. Before they were laid low by injury, the men here were part of the 1.1 million low-paid migrant workers living in Singapore, spiritual descendants of the island's early pioneers. Work pass holders make up 28% of the Singapore workforce and are vital to the economy. But many are locked into unfair working conditions by crippling amounts of debt and an inability to change jobs when they get here. Close to 75% of foreign workers earn less than 2,200 Singapore dollars a month, doing jobs that better educated locals no longer want to do and putting up with injuries, unpaid wages and poor living conditions when they get here. Low-paid migrant workers have become a crutch for the Singapore economy, and the government has started to tighten the country's intake.
The problem is that it exacerbates inequality. For Singaporean workers in those sectors, they're competing with lower paid workers. And for Singapore as a whole, it has to deal with the importing of any of the problems that these workers bring with them.
Part of the clampdown has stemmed from a nationalistic outcry over the number of foreigners taking jobs in Singapore, but the catch is, locals generally don't want these blue-collar jobs. The solution, economists say, is for the labour structure to mature.
A blunt policy would be saying, I introduce a minimum wage, because businesses are realizing that the government is really serious about not allowing foreign worker growth in that lower wage sector to grow at the pace which they did.
And such reforms will benefit the foreign workers that are left. Already things are being done to improve their lives. Computerised pay slips, mandatory off days for domestic workers, and an anti-trafficking bill that will help to curb labour abuses.
Another thing that we've asked for is that the men be allowed to change employers. If he were allowed to change employers, he would be able to negotiate better the terms of his employment, and he would be able to choose which employer to go to. And it might begin to eliminate the kinds of employers that we see who are guilty of the worst abuses.
Such moves will help ensure Singapore has a viable workforce as its neighbours start to catch up in the economic rankings. Jegarajah, CNBC Asia.